My name's Emily. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I'm 27 years old, so I'm young and in recovery, which to me is awesome because, it's the future of recovery, basically. When you get to catch a disease like this so early in life, I feel like that's a blessing in itself. I'm super grateful for that. My first time I ever drank or used a substance, I was 14. I have two older brothers who are and were huge role models for me. In high school, they were always viewed as, kings of campus, or they were good at everything in my eyes. And I just kind of felt like the forgotten last child who was a girl, and so I tried my hardest to do and be everything that they did. So I joined sports, which I really did enjoy. I tried hardest in school, but they also partied, and I thought that was so cool. So I couldn't wait to do that. I pressed the bottle to my lips. I had this warm, fuzzy feeling, and all of my insecurities and problems went away. I mean, ever since I was a young girl, I don't know what went on in my mind besides now I know that it's that alcoholic mind, and the way of thinking that I had is, I had made it. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I hated myself as a young kid. How can you just, there was all of these fears that I had, and not fitting in and not being good enough. And then when I had that drink, all of that stuff went away, and I was 14. That's crazy to think of now, to think back then. Fast forward into graduating from high school, my friends were going to college, and I'm still lost. That's just a big word for me in my whole beginning of, my life lost. I never knew. I was a chameleon. I always changed who I was to make other people happy. I had gone down this road of where I was just flat, my personality and my sense of humor and all that stuff, and my feelings, all that stuff just went away. The drugs had really dulled me down. That is when I broke down and went to a meeting for the first time. The woman who was speaking at the podium, I just heard her again last night via Zoom meeting, which is very cool. I wasn't gonna go to a meeting. Boom, there she was. I'm like, okay, God moment. She spoke, and not every single detail was the same, but she explained exactly how I was feeling right then and there, and how I felt most of my life. And that made me realize, oh my God, I belong here, and I never really belonged anywhere. I started getting more humble because I wrote out some pretty serious stuff. I wrote some things down, and being able to take it from inside my head and put it on paper, and then read it aloud to another person who didn't know me like the back of their hand. I don't have to hide behind all of these facades that I continue to put up, and I don't have to drown my mental instability, which for me I was depressed all the time. I was anxious all the time. I was always caring so much about what other people thought of me instead of just being present in the moment. I have learned so much about myself, which is freeing in itself. I don't make every single move in my life caring about what other people think about me. I mean, I got to write my fears down and dissect them, and see where they stem from. And that is a part that has helped me, is that I was really living on a completely fear-based life, and that people do do love me for my true authentic self, and that I don't need a substance and to make sure that I'm funny or I'm confident or whatever it is. I can just be that person because I am, and I need to believe in myself, which I learned. Not everybody's road is the same, and that we're all shoulder to shoulder in it. It's not one person is better than the other ever, and basically that women in recovery really lift each other up, and we're not our enemies anymore. We're here to make each other better, and that was a huge lesson that I learned in my first year of sobriety and recovery. Strangers talking to strangers, but at the end of the day, you have to remember we're all human beings and we're all fighting the same battle. So there's number one, something you have in common. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. And there's so many people out there willing to help and who want to hear you. The most beautiful thing in life is relationships with other human beings, especially ones that are fighting the same battle and going on the same road.